Hey guys, and welcome to the Cigar Lounge Talk Show. I am your host, Aaron Paoletta, and for the first time this season, after 6 episodes, I finally get this guy. Please welcome Johnny Hunter. And we have 2 other douches with us today. We've got Evin and we've got Vince. And the reason we have them is because if you guys didn't pay attention or watch the last episode that we released, which was when we went to Tampa and filmed with J.C. Newman, Drew Newman was kind enough to pull these off of the rolling table and give one to each of us. Well, because Johnny is consistently late, the other 2 have fired up already and we have not. But before we go into that, and I know you're highly anticipating it, and so am I.
I wanted to smoke this as soon as we got back to the house after we left.
That is true, and that's my fault because I bought this lighter off of the Newmans. This belonged to Stanford Newman, and I told Drew, and it's video evidence of it, so I didn't want to do it wrong.
So go watch the other episode. If you
I
really
told Drew that I would light this cigar with this lighter. The problem is DuPont is like Apple, okay? They're proprietary. So what happens is you cannot fill with butane unless you have ST DuPont butane, or what I just found out, an adapter. So I had to wait until we got back to Pennsylvania before I could use this. So as annoying as that is, it is now full and I can actually do what I said I would do. Before we get into lighting this,
can we do that?
Do you have anything you want to add? Because I know we have a lot to talk about when it comes to that tour, because it was something else.
I have a lot to add, but I want to get smoking.
So you want to smoke first?
Mm-hmm.
Then let's light them up. Well, that kicks you right out of the gate. I'm actually pretty impressed so far.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
I like the closed foot. The closed foot was pretty cool.
And I mean, we got these cigars the day after they were released.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So the day after they released these is when we showed up to do that tour, which actually, before we go any further, I want to thank Kara for that. She arranged that whole thing, arranged our tour, arranged so we could speak with Drew himself. Like, that was just a fantastic trip. So I do want to thank her for that.
Thank you, Kara.
Yeah, no, it is appreciated. But no, they released this the day before. We show up. He goes upstairs, which is actually where the credits start to roll at the end of the last episode. He came down, and that's when he handed those to us. But what he did was he went upstairs to, what was it, the 5th floor or 6th floor or some shit?
4th floor, I think.
Dude, it was up there. He went up there, grabbed 4 of these cigars off the table, and brought them down and gave them to us. Now, Vinny was the only intelligent one, and he bought another one. Yeah. And he brought it back with him. So the one he's smoking tonight is the one Drew gave us, right? Okay. Now, something that Drew also gave me, and I actually can't believe I talked him into giving this to me.
I'm surprised he gave it to you, too.
He got me a Civetta. Now, the Civetta is what they use. We'll throw a clip up on the screen, but it's what they use to, cut the tobacco, the wrappers when they're doing it. I have him sign it too.
Oh yeah.
So I got a Civetta. Now that can go in my collection up here, but I'm happy I got that. But I'm gonna start off with that trip. What was it? 18 hours. Is that how many hours we were in the car?
Yeah. With stops and everything, it was about 18 hours.
18 hours. Straight down. I think it was around South Carolina. Isn't that when we dozed off? But this guy trucked the whole way through.
When you gotta get somewhere, you gotta get there. You know, you just truck right on through. But yeah, it was a good 18 hours with stops and everything that we got down there. You guys slept for about a good hour and a half.
I know it dozed off a little bit. On the way home, I didn't. I spent the whole time making fun of Evin on the way home and his snoring. The dude was sawing logs on the way home.
I'll never forget.
That dude was sawing logs, boy.
I'll never forget the look on his face. I'm driving, I hear, and I look in the rearview mirror, and I see him because we've been picking on him about falling asleep. And when he woke up, his eyes got so big. It was like, it was hilarious.
I have video of it.
And I'm watching this from the rearview mirror.
Dude, and then Vinny dozes off, and he's like, I wasn't sleeping. Hell, you weren't. That was a good couple hours on the way home that you fell asleep. And I think he was testing me because he kept saying my name. I'm like, yeah, what's up? I'm awake. Don't fool around. I'm awake. Anyway, back to this beauty. A little bit of info on this. It says on Halloween night in 2021, J.C. Newman posted a video to its YouTube channel announcing that it had a new line in the works and it was called the Angel Cuesta. So, let me see here. As well as that it would be revamping its diamond crowned and other lines. So, if they announced this in 2021 that they were going to be doing MC, and he said when we interviewed him, he said that they let everything rest at least a year, which that aging room, boys, that aging room. So we need smell-o-vision because seeing it in the last episode, being there, I mean, it doesn't do it justice.
Hang on. We can't have smell-o-vision. I would never be able to watch porn again.
Anyway, moving on. That aging room was something else. The funny part is, these were in there. Didn't he say all the ones in red were the Angel Cuestas? Yes. Okay, it was a lot of red. And what did he say, 150,000 cigars were resting?
Half the room was red.
Yeah. I don't think that's their only aging
No, they
room.
got to have more than that, because, I mean, 150,000 cigars in all seriousness worldwide, that's not a lot.
Well,
Even if you did 20 per box, it's still not a lot.
Yeah.
For the world. Because you know these go everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, that whole room, it was a good-sized room if you watch the other episodes.
Yeah, we're going to keep referring you back to watching the other episode.
Yeah.
I'd have to say, I mean, loosely, I mean, this shop is 25 by 30, so I would say it was maybe half that size. Mm-hmm. But deep in the basement, dark, dingy, smelt phenomenal. Yep. Like that whole place was something else. Like if you're ever in that area, I don't know how much that tour was. I think it was like 15 or 20 bucks for that tour. Take the tour.
Actually, it was one of the more interesting tours that I've been on because I go to museums, history
I do
tours,
love museums.
Like you know what I mean, like all that kind of stuff. And it's awesome that it's the only factory in the U.S. rolling cigars, and being able to watch them roll it, like. These cigars, we might have actually been up there watching them roll these cigars.
Well, no.
Or putting the bands on.
The bands, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, he did say he pulled them right off the table. So when we were upstairs filming, we probably filmed these being done.
Yeah. Putting the bands on and that. But I
was thoroughly impressed with that operation as a whole. Mm-hmm. Okay. First off, it's in Florida, and I mean, like, who doesn't love Florida? I mean, I love this so much. Well, I mean, I've been there like throughout my entire life, but I love that particular trip so much that as soon as I got home, I contacted a realtor, so I'm trying to get a home down there. So that, and we want to thank Dale too. I did put Dale's name in the credits. I wanted to thank him. That man, I mean, gave us a place to stay, hospitality. Dale, thank you, and shut the door.
Inside joke. He'll get it.
Yeah, he'll understand what that is. But dude, like 80 degrees the entire time we were down there, right out in front of the J.C. Newman building. Had my favorite thing in the world, palm trees.
Look, the whole way down there, we heard, I'm getting some palm trees. I'm bringing palm trees home. We live in Pennsylvania.
What did I bring home?
Palm trees.
How many?
2. And look, Vince is a hell of a friend because I'd have told him to go fuck himself. Straight up. He rode the 17 and a half, 18-hour drive the whole way back up here with a palm tree between his legs. So did Aaron, but it was his tree, so he can deal with it. I told you to go fuck yourself.
Vince is a hell of a friend, and I do appreciate it. I mean, we had to play Tetris with the bags a little more than when we went down. It was awfully cramped coming back, but we did get the palm trees back here. I did get windmill palms, so I'm determined to get those to grow in this cold climate we have. And if I do get those to grow, I would be the only one in Pennsylvania that I know of that has palm trees.
And if you do get it to grow, when it goes in the negatives, you're gonna have to go out and put heated blankets on your trees.
That's okay. I already have a plan. I'm gonna wrap it with heating blankets, and then I'm gonna wrap it with cellophane, and I'm gonna wrap it with heating blankets, and then I'm gonna wrap it with more cellophane.
You're nuts.
I love palm trees. It's the one thing I miss about living in Las Vegas. I had palm trees all through my yard. Anyway, these palm trees don't have scorpions, so that's a good thing. I would have liked to have had the iguanas that would fall out. That would have been kind of cool, but they wouldn't have lasted back here. Anyway, back to the cigar. I don't really know much about this cigar. This thing is so new. Like I'm literally reading what Half Wheel has come up with. So the Angel Cuesta line is being made in Tampa, obviously at the J.C. Newman El Reloj factory, which El Reloj is the clock, which that clock they had on the inside was actually pretty nifty.
Yeah.
Which I think we have footage of that too, so we should probably throw that up on the screen as well. But that clock was pretty cool. And in particular, a rolling room known as the American Room, which is where these things were being rolled. The cigar is named for Angel Cuesta, one of the 2 founders of the Cuesta Rey brand. It features an Ecuadorian Havana seed wrapper. The binder and the filler have not been disclosed. Of course, not been disclosed. I hate that. I hate when they don't disclose that.
We should have asked. I wonder if Drew would have told us.
Hey, Drew, if you're watching this,
no way.
if you're watching this, leave a comment. Tell me what's in this
It's
thing.
too good for him to disclose the information.
You know, but sometimes they'll tell you what the wrapper is in the binder, but maybe won't tell you the filler. Or sometimes they'll tell you what everything is, but won't tell you the region. Or they're like Fuente and Padron that just don't tell you anything. You just know that Padron is Nicaraguan. Where? I don't know. Jalapa, Esteli, Ometep, I don't know. Just Nicaragua. So at least we got that. The sizes that they are releasing it in, it's 3 sizes. The double Robusto, which is 5.5 by 56, the 6 by 52, and the 7.25 by 57. So we are smoking the double Robusto, which is just, the gauge of it is a little more than I typically like. You know, I like them 52s.
Yeah.
54 if it's box pressed, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm very excited for this, so I don't really care. It could have been a 60. It wouldn't bother me.
Yeah. It is slightly bigger, like you said. But
yes, Vince, you do need to put this down because you smoked those too fast. So the individual cigars will be priced between $16 and $22 each, and the line was scheduled to release in the fall. Fall when? Doesn't say on here fall. The day before we filmed is when they actually released.
That was not fall.
That's not fall. That's actually February. So
yeah.
Okay, Half Wheel got that wrong, or they didn't know. Yeah. So let's see here.
Or they haven't updated it yet.
Yeah, I don't even know when this one actually was was written. Day did we film? You know what? It's on my calendar. Let me go back and look. Give me a second. We filmed on February 8th. So February 7th is when those released.
I definitely should have bought a box.
Yeah, so far I'm really enjoying this. Now, because you are you tasting anything? If you're tasting shoes or cashews, I don't want to hear it.
No, it's just.
You say that.
It just has a great cigar flavor, and I've noticed that the more I try to pull notes out, I can't distinguish certain flavors. Sometimes I can, but like cashews, I always pull cashews out. I don't taste them in this cigar.
So here's what I'm getting. First off, the draw is not overly clear, but it's not clogged. And I was actually very worried about that because there's nothing that ruins a cigar experience for me more than a clogged cigar.
Yeah.
I hate that because then I spend the first 10 minutes fucking with it, trying to play doctor and get it to open up. Yeah. And it just ruins it. With that closed foot sometimes, and you need to remember that closed foot makes it seem tight. But the way I lit mine, I really burnt it off because I don't like the closed foot because I don't like to draw while I'm lighting. I like it to be, I have a ritual when I light. A little different today because of the closed foot, but anyway, so I'm getting the aroma of this. Now, I've been smelling this thing for the last week, okay? This thing was putting off like a mixed nut, like dried dates, and like some hay.
See, I don't know.
That's the aroma. That's what I was smelling, okay?
You guys that pull these notes out of cigars, commend you, because I just like the flavor of cigars. You know, like I said, some people can pull them notes out.
Well, you know, we talked about it for 3 seasons now. It's my culinary background. Mm-hmm. I've tasted so much shit in my day, like I know what I'm tasting. The biggest notes that I'm tasting right now is very weird, because I'm tasting grass.
I said the same thing.
You're getting grass too?
I'm getting some sort of...
I'm getting grass.
Something grassiness.
Yeah, grass. So here's the thing. Normally when you're smoking something with the candela tobacco in it, which is the green tobacco, I'll get grass or lemongrass flavors. Because we don't know what the actual blend is in this, I couldn't tell you what's in it, but I'm getting grass. And it's not a disgusting kind of grass. It's weird because I wasn't expecting
like hay, that green hay that you used to chew
Fresh
on.
hay.
Like when you used to chew on.
You pick it out of the field when we were kids and you just munch on it.
Yeah, that's what it is. I can
so
taste that.
Interesting, but I'm also getting the dates. There's a touch of sweetness to it that I'm getting. That could very well be from the wrapper. It could be from the binder. I have no idea. A touch of sweetness. I don't know what this cigar is actually like rated as far as the strength is concerned. To me, it tastes very meat. It started out medium.
Yeah,
it hasn't quite like kicked into medium to full yet, but it's at a nice medium. There's a slight hint of anise or licorice, but so far it's fucking tasty, dude. It's actually tasty. This is definitely box worthy so far.
I'd say so.
How often in the 3 seasons have you said, I should have bought a box? I should have bought a box.
Have I?
No, me.
Oh, you? No, never. Because you're cheap.
I am cheap as shit. I should have bought a box. They're good.
And mind you,
I'd have bought a smaller size.
And I'm gonna say this right now. This show and its affiliates, meaning the 4 idiots in this room, we are not endorsed. We are not sponsored. We are not driven by money or anything else. We literally tell it how it is. Okay? If you're saying that, I'm gonna take your word for that.
Actually, I might have Dale pick me up a box before he comes home.
Will he? If he'll drive to Tampa to get these, I will pitch in and I'll get some too. Or I'll split a box with you.
He probably will.
Well, text him now. Text him now and see if he'll go to Tampa. And then if he does, I'll get a hold of Kara and be like, hey, we need you to sell this box. This old man's coming in here to get this.
Johnny's message is on the screen right now.
Yeah, Grandpa Dale's coming in. I do like the 3 bands. I love the color scheme, the gold, the off gold, the yellow, the reds. Like, that's actually really cool. And at least, unlike some, this isn't super glued to the wrapper, this bottom one. Other brands damn near pulls the whole bottom of the cigar off.
I'm super impressed. I did pull off my bottom band when we got back to the house after the tour to smoke it, and you're like, fuck.
Dude, I said to Drew I would light it with this. And because of the fact that I didn't have the butane, I couldn't fill this up. I wanted to do it right. Vinny, what do you think?
I think it's pretty tasty. I would definitely buy a box of these. I'm glad I bought a second one so I could let it rest for maybe a year, like Newman said. And then revisit it in here and see the different tastes, because this is fantastic. I'm actually very happy I bought this.
You know, and I'm wondering if that grassy flavor is part of it being new, because like I know they let them rest for a year before. I mean, at least that's what they said. At least a year. At least a year they let them rest before they actually put them out for sale. But I did find, and I said it in that interview with Drew, that they let the Americans rest at least a year, okay? When I first tried the American, it tasted odd, I'll say. And Mr. K, we smoked that together. He said the same thing, but we're looking at it saying, you know what?
That's where I
this,
got mine at. Was
yeah,
Mr.
like
K.
let's let this rest another 6 months and we'll try it again. We tasted it 6 months later and like, okay, wow, that's better. That's starting to really snap. And then we tasted it 6 months later, which would have been another year on top of that. Like, okay, this is getting good now.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this is going to be the same way. Sometimes you just got to let them age out a little longer. But then again, if they were to let them rest, not just that 1 year, if they were going to do like, you know, what Fuente and Padron does, where they let stuff go 5-10 years before, well, now you're not paying $18 a cigar. You're paying $28 a cigar.
Yeah.
So try that. If you get them, I always tell people, and you know,
Either that or do a limited 5 or 10 year aged release of
you could.
1,000 boxes, or you know what I mean.
you could, but you know, I always tell people when you first get a box, smoke one, try it, and then come back to it 6 months later, and then come back to it 6 months after that, and start to gauge how it goes. If it keeps getting better and better and better, well, keep aging it out.
Honestly,
And didn't Drew say that aging is a very good thing? But what did he say? After about 10 to 15 years, they're no good.
I think he said that.
Dude, I have cigars that I've smoked with Bill that were 23 years old and they were fantastic. So I really think it depends on the blend and how you store them. I'm just going to say that.
That's also getting into the conversation. Wow, can't talk.
What did you say?
Yeah, I don't even know controversy. Yeah, I can't even say that word. Holy shit. Anyway.
What? Wait. Hold
It's
on. I'm
basically
trying to wrap my head around what the fuck he just said. What?
Controversy. Anyway, I know what word I'm trying to say.
Whisper to me what you're really trying to say.
It's
Controversial.
yeah. There we go. In the conversation, because it's more of an opinion if you think that there's a point of aged cigars or too aged.
Made my brain skip a little bit there listening to that one. Holy shit, Johnny.
Well, it's been a long day. Okay.
So
Wow. Okay. Yes.
All right. Look,
Controversial.
Vinny
yes.
will tell you I got fucked all day today
How are you sitting down then?
because I fucked him too.
And we'll take
We
that
both
out
went
of
down.
there as well.
if you want to go back to talking about the aging thing, Newman said that the longer you let the tobacco age, the farther you're getting from the initial makers.
The initial blender, yeah. What
he was saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what the blender originally had in mind. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, though. I mean, I'm not taking away anything that the blender had in mind when he or she created this, but sometimes they just get better and better and better and better. I mean, if I like a cigar right out of the box, I want to age it. I want to see if it gets better. Like there was one, it was the Ashton ESG. Bill had them stored up for 10 years, I think he said, a little over 10 years. And he bought the box and he's like, ooh, these are really not that good. Stored them, forgot about them. 10 years later, he lit them up and was like, okay, that tastes like berries. So he had 2 left and he gave me one. And he's like, and I'm hesitant to even give you this because it was so good. Okay. I sat down, it was a good afternoon, 70-some degrees in the Oasis, lit that thing up, man, it started singing. And I have it, I think it's in my last book. That thing, it was like a dried fruit basket. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, cranberries, apples, I mean, citrus, oranges. Dude, it was so fantastic. So age them. And if you don't want to age them, if you like how they taste right out of the box, smoke them and get another box.
And honestly, if you're an everyday smoker like you are, and you're buying cigars by the box, 20 cigars, 10 cigars, it's really not that hard to age them either, because if you have 10 or 15 different kinds of cigars, and you buy a box of all of them, by the time you get to the end of just those, let's just say 10 boxes of 10, that's 100 cigars. That's almost a half a year if you smoke 1 cigar a day. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's true. I like to buy, okay, so you know how I do mine. I buy 15, 20 different singles. I test them. If it's something that I really do enjoy, I'll buy a box immediately. And depending on how much I enjoy it, I'll buy 2 boxes. I'm a little out of room right now.
Yeah.
I'm running out of room. I have 19 humidors. I have how many humidors out there for storage?
You want to buy another one?
No, I don't want to buy anything. I have humidors.
$60.
For what?
One of my humidors.
Why are you selling it?
Because it's empty.
Fill it.
I don't have the money.
How you going to get a box of these then?
Friend share?
Oh, shit.
I'll tell Dale to pick it up. I'll pay him when he gets here.
Anyway.
And then when he gets here, I'll go, see what happened was.
Anyway, I like to buy boxes like that. But what ends up happening is I smoke so many of them, I just get sick of them. It doesn't matter what it is. I will get sick of the cigar. So then I end up leaving them in there and just naturally, because I smoke too many and I'm tired of them, they're going to age out anyway. Because then it's going to take a while for me to go, hey, you know what? I really want to smoke that again. Like those Avo Synchro Nicaraguans. Dude, I smoked 3 boxes of them things. And then like a half a box sat in there for 2 years. I'm like, I can't smoke these again. It didn't taste right.
Yeah.
It's like having vape tongue, you know, for people who vape. It's like having vape tongue.
Yep. And different juices, in vaping anyway, different juices. You can get some flavors after like 1 tank, you can't taste it no more. And then you get some flavors you can taste it through the whole bottle.
I mean, I remember when I vaped, I had a juice that was specifically made for my band. It was called Meat Ave. Vegas Vapor Emporium actually did it. The girl's name was Dee, who made it. And boy, she hit it dead on. It was blackberries and saltwater taffy, and oh, dude, it was so tasty. I vaped that shit so much, dude, I couldn't taste it no more. So I had another tank that I would screw on there for a day that had a completely different flavor to change my palate, and then I go back to doing the other one. It's the same thing with cigars. That's why I have so many damn cigars. And you know how many cigars I have, because I actually keep an inventory of what I have on here, so I know what I have. Where you at still? Because according to Evin, we're like 30-some minutes in.
Well, fantastic cigar. Thank you, Drew, for the tour and sharing some of your family legacy.
So me, Dale, and Vinny went on a nature walk because Dale had to see alligators or crocodiles or whatever the hell we were going to look for. I don't remember where he took us, but we ended up seeing 4 crocs, one little baby one,
And not the shoe.
and 3 big motherfuckers. On the route, when we were walking through, I ran into these 2 guys out there, and you could tell that they were bloggers of some sort because they do what I do, and they were taking pictures out in the middle. Groove Soaps. Again, we are not endorsed, we are not sponsored, but this stuff smells fantastic. And I think I told you could have some of this too. Haven't let anybody try this yet because I wanted it whole for this episode. I don't know anything about this other than I know the name, and it smells awesome, and I know that there's no chemicals in it because that's what they told me. But they were just cool guys. That's why I wanted to bring that up. The other thing is, before we went on this trip, I tracked down some coffee that I hadn't had in a long time because they were known for making it in K-cups. And I stopped using a Keurig years ago, and before we went, I told Jackie, I was like, hey, look this up and see if they finally sell it in bean or ground. And they do. Well, Dale tried this. This was that Jamaican Me Crazy by the Angelino's Coffee out in LA. We used to buy this a lot when we lived in Las Vegas. This is your bag, Dale.
It was good.
This is coming down to you. And if you've never tried this coffee, do yourself a favor and give it a shot. You know, I should get paid for saying this stuff.
Where's my bag? Tomorrow's my birthday.
Well, you ain't getting this one. You ain't getting this one. But happy birthday, Dick.
Well, thanks.
What are you, 30 now?
29.
Oh, wow, I miss them days. Oh, I can feel every year after 30.
I'm sure, like, because Aaron got us new mics, I'm sure...
You're hearing the creaking and cracking?
Oh, you've definitely picked up my back popping a couple of times because I crack my neck all the time.
Yes, so should have said this early on. These are brand new mics. I've been very hesitant to, I don't want my chin pubics to rub against it, so I haven't been moving much. These are brand new mics. Got tired of the other ones moving around on me, and then our wireless system that we had, it could have been from that negative spell we had come through here, made all the equipment act up. Because I'm too cheap to have heat in this building, so
Hey,
everything
I'm
was
cheap
froze.
about everything. You're cheap about some things.
Some things. I used to be even more cheap a long time ago. You guys have anything you want to say about this? Because it's so new. I really don't know much about it, other than I love the flavor of it so far, and I kind of just want to sit here with the three is and just smoke it.
Only thing I have to say is thank you to Drew for this absolutely amazing cigar. That's it.
And the mute.
You heard it all.
We got a head nod from the mute. You're good.
Fabulous cigar. I will be talking to my people to come talk to your people about getting a box of these.
Wow. I didn't know you had people now.
Well, I got people all over the world.
Do you now? No, fantastic cigar. I'm gonna do my write-up. I brought my book. I got the tape to put the bands in. I'll be doing my write-up. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Kara, for doing all that. For the Chaveta, just for the whole experience in general. We had a fantastic time. I do want to come back down, and I think next time if we come down, there will be no filming. I kind of just want to enjoy. I mean, we did enjoy it, but I want to enjoy it without thinking, hey, did you get this footage? Did you get this footage? And I want to try their rolling classes too. They do rolling classes. I think that's actually kind of cool. I would actually like to try that.
One thing I do want to add, speaking of rolling, these cigars were so fabulously rolled. And I'm not up talking nothing. You can see how they don't look hand rolled. That's how perfect they are. I know they're hand rolled. I've seen it with my own eyes.
We saw it in person.
Yeah, I am extremely impressed with this cigar. I'm gonna have to get a box and set a couple aside for every 5 years.
I want Bill to try these. I think Bill would actually enjoy this. Love to get some.
If he didn't, I would be surprised because I've seen the cigars that he's given me, or in line with this.
Well, considering he smokes Opuses and Padrones, that's a compliment.
Yeah, this is a good stick, and even Drew seemed really excited about this cigar.
It was a good time. To say the very least. So we appreciate everybody from J.C. Newman. Thanks everybody for watching. If you haven't seen the actual episode of when we were down in Tampa at J.C. Newman, please go and check it out. This was the follow-up. Cigars are fantastic. We had a great time. You got anything else?
I'm going to enjoy this cigar.
We're going to enjoy our cigars. We'll see you guys later.